So this is another one of our award-winning case studies. This one's brilliant. What I love about it, it's kind of taking board-level business strategy and integrating that very directly into digital marketing activities. This won an award in the DMAs, and it came second in the drums in the UK, which are highly competitive awards. So please put your hands together and welcome first Monika and then Rob to the stage to talk to you about this. Monika's from D.I.D, I should say.
Thank you. I won't actually need that. Hi guys, I'm from D.I.D Electrical. And we have some great content to deliver to you guys today, but I'll leave all the juicy bits to Rob. I just wanted to set a little bit of a business context to what we were doing and what we were trying to achieve last year. So D.I.D, who are we? And most of you probably know, we actually were celebrating a very big birthday in our business last year. We had been delivering appliances and technology to Irish homes for over 50 years now. And do you know when somebody, especially at conferences like that, you get to talk to new people, when somebody asks me, what do we do? What does the business do? Where do I work? It sounds a little bit boring. We deliver appliances, you know, it's the humble washing machine, the fridge that you just take for granted. You just expect them in your homes. And even when you think about it, they just stay. Like you wouldn't move, but you wouldn't move to an apartment without a fridge freezer. You wouldn't move to a new home if there wasn't a fridge freezer in it. I actually remember buying our house, and there was a little bit of hiccup at the start with delivery of our beds. So we moved in. For the first night, we had to sleep on the couch. That was fine, you're excited, it's a new home. But if the fridge freezer hadn't been there, I don't know how they had moved in. If the washing machine wasn't there, well, the washer and dryer were constantly on for the first 2 days. We moved in, we wanted everything nice and fresh in the new house. If the TV wasn't there, hell no, not a hope. So you know how important they are, and those appliances that sometimes sound so boring, they're so important for our customers. And when you take it back to when it started with one man and an idea to make Irish people's lives easier. And back in 1968, only 20 years after ESB started the electricity project, it was something completely new. When you think about it, in 1945, they started rolling out electricity to Irish homes, and it took years. It took almost 20 years. They completed the project in 1965, but even at that time, not every household had been connected yet. So you think, when you look at it that way, you see how innovative of a business it was at the start. And when you approach a massive anniversary like that within the business, like being 50 years in the business, you start reflecting, you start looking back at the roots of how it all started. Are you still that innovative? Are you still that customer-centric? And we asked ourselves, a couple of years leading up to the anniversary, we asked ourselves, and we're very honest with ourselves, we have lost some of that during the years. And we set ourselves goals that we will bring back that spirit of innovation, the spirit of customer centricity back to the business in everything we do every day. And for every department within the business, it means something else. But for us, across the marketing and e-commerce team, the single biggest opportunity was the omni-channel. And it was an extremely important one, because it was what our customers wanted. It's how our customers shop, how our customers want to perceive us. So we made that our main goal. And we worked on it in a couple of different ways, but what we want to talk about today is how much time and how much time we put on driving the offline the bottom line results through our digital performance. And if you were here last year, you would have heard our case study, how we collected the data on the ROPO effect on customers that research online and shop offline, and that empowered us to deploy that we could take those results back into the business, educate our the business internally, educate our buyers, our store managers, and bring it back, drive that change within the business. And it's completely different conversations that we're having now. If I talk to a local store manager today, it's not all about the press out in the local paper. They ask me about the Facebook ad. Monika, you promised me the Facebook ad, the local ad that will drive business to my store. It's actually bringing customers to Dave's store in Waterford. What's happening? And that's how the true collaboration starts. That's when we can fine-tune the results, and we can make everything much more effective for our customers and for the business. So that's what we had been doing over the previous year, and that empowered us last year to truly deploy the fully digital-first strategy within the business. And but because with the increased budgets comes a lot of power. With a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility as well. We wanted to make sure that we don't only drive the sales line, that we take real, like Alan said, real company insights, real board level strategy, and really tackle a couple of real business challenges. So we have thrown them at the guys in Wolfgang, and Rob's going to tell you exactly how it all worked out.
Thank you, Monika. So, as Monika mentioned, 2018 was the year D.I.D turned 50, and it was also the year they went digital first with their marketing budget. And the two things happening at the same time kind of really made us realize that, over the 50 years D.I.D have been in business, back to when they had just the one store in Mountjoy Square on the north side, to now when they've got 23 stores all over the country employing thousands of people, how important it was for us to help them build on the retail DNA they built up over the last 50 years. We wanted to make sure that when we're going digital first, we weren't just going to grow online sales and accelerate the growth of online, but we needed to make sure we were driving stores in sale. We weren't moving stores from in-store onto the website. We needed to make sure we were driving new customers into the stores as well. So any of you who were here last year might have realized by now that this talk is a bit of a sequel to the one we did last year. And the problem with sequels is they're generally shite. I watched Speed 2 on Sunday. And Speed 2 is a truly terrible film. Trust me, don't even watch it to try and see if I'm right. Just trust me, it's terrible. It's so bad, in fact, that the creators of Father Ted, after seeing Speed 2, went away and decided they were going to see if they come up with an even worse premise, which is how we ended up with the runaway milk float in an episode actually called Speed 3 of Father Ted, featuring the evil milkman Pat Mustard and a load of hairy babies. So I'm hoping this talk is going to be less like Speed 2 and more like Terminator 2, which is a sequel that actually lived up to the hype and the promise delivered by the first film. And I'm going to be talking to you a lot about integration. And we'll be talking about the campaign that won the Best Integrated Digital Campaign at the DMAs, and also came second in the drums last week. Very annoyed it came second. It would have been perfect if we'd won it last week. But we're going to talk to you about two different types of integration. So the first one is integrating the business insights that Monika and her team were able to give to us, and integrating them into our digital marketing challenges to solve some of the real business challenges that D.I.D were facing. And the second type of insight or integration I'm going to take you through is integration between one of the channels we've been running for D.I.D for a long time and a new one that we kicked off in 2018. I was actually lucky enough to speak to one of the judges who was on the panel for this. It was after they gave us the award. She got in touch with us. She gave us a ring a couple of weeks after we won the award, and she's a lecturer in UCD. She lectures digital marketing to undergraduates and postgraduates in UCD, and she wanted us to come in and present our case study and show her students what we were working on. So we were delighted. Myself and Jack went in, And we were having a quick chat before the lecture, and I asked her, what was it that made our one different to all the other ones? And she said that our entry was the one that the judges felt was the one that best looked at the big picture of the client's goals, and then built a digital marketing strategy around it, as opposed to other entries which had some cool innovations, but they weren't built out in the same way. So I was delighted to hear that, because that was a really big focus for us. So for those of you who were here last year, you might remember that it was myself, Monika, and Robbie on stage, and we were talking about this beautiful new tool that we'd been given by Facebook that was allowing us to report the impact of what we were doing online on Facebook on offline sales. And we loved it, and we were giving out about how Google hadn't given us anything similar, and we had to figure out a workaround to get that information. So it was basically on stage here in Google, 15 minutes, bitching and moaning about Google. And to be fair to Google, they listened. So Adam gave me a ring about a week later to say he'd been speaking to one of the product specialists in San Francisco, and this guy was going to be coming over to Dublin in a couple of weeks, and he wanted us to come in and meet him. So we were like, brilliant, yeah, great. So myself, Monika, and Darren from D.I.D came into Google. We met this product specialist and kind of explained everything that we explained everything we'd been working on, the problems we've been having with tracking the offline impact of what we were doing online, how Google weren't giving us what we needed, and how we'd have to figure out our own workaround. And he's a classic Googler. He kind of kept his cards very close to his chest, didn't really say much while we were talking, just listened. And then at the end, he revealed that he'd been working on a new product. And this product was going to come along, it was going to swoop in, and it was going to save us from the tracking problems that we've been suffering from. So we're going to get onto he was offering us a place on a beta. And this beta, we were going to be one of only 2 agencies in the whole of EMEA to have a go of it. I'm going to have to change that slide. And this beta was called Store Sales Direct. So what Store Sales Direct allows us to do is upload a database of email addresses of people who had gone into a D.I.D store, made a purchase, and requested an e-receipt at their point of sale. So we could upload the database of these email addresses, and Google would then match these email addresses to people who had interacted with our ads. And we could then go all the way down to keyword ad level. We could see which keywords, which ads were driving in-store sales. And this is a total game changer for us, because we've always been able to see which campaigns, which keywords, which ads are driving online transactions, but we can now see which of these are driving offline sales as well. So this is information we can then use to optimize our campaigns and improve our campaigns. So this was fantastic. We were like, this is game-changing stuff, amazing. And one of the things we wanted to test was kind of one of the oldest assumptions in digital marketing. We wanted to have a look at the value of an in-store visitor for D.I.D versus the value of a website visitor. So how much in monetary terms is it worth for one person to walk into a D.I.D store versus one person to visit their website? Because the assumption we all make as digital marketers is that the website is the best place we can send people. That's the most valuable action we can get someone to take, is to visit the website. So how many people here are running online ads that are using a call to action like buy online today or get in touch online? It's probably all of us. That's the way we've been taught. And we wanted to test this assumption because we never really had never seen any data to back it up. So we had a look. We worked through a lot of the data. And what we found kind of terrified us. We found that a visit to the website was actually worth 12 times more than the visit to the store was worth 12 times more than a visit to the website. So this changed everything we'd always kind of taught and kind of reconfigured our whole strategy. It meant that what we'd always been trying to get people to do wasn't necessarily the most valuable action. There's more value if we can drive someone in store. So this is something we wanted to put to the test. We wanted to see, could we drive people in store? Could we increase the footfall into D.I.D stores? And around the same time, Monika approached us with the challenge that they were having around a couple of their stores. So offline stores, offline sales, I should say, had been growing pretty steadily for D.I.D, but there were a couple of stores, and we call them focus stores, where they've been struggling. D.I.D measured the footfall into a store, so how many people are going in and out of a store every day. And they were able to see that there had actually been a decline for some of the stores. They weren't seeing as many people coming in store as they used to. So we were like, this is the perfect chance to put our theory to the test. So we built out some campaigns which were targeting radiuses around some of these focus stores. So for example, we could create a campaign that targeted the people who were in the 5-kilometer radius around the Nace store. We could then kind of define a specific budget for driving people in store. This is how much we want to spend on driving people into the D.I.D stores. We could also change our bidding strategy. So we could bid higher and we could show our ads in a more prominent position if someone was within 5 kilometers of a store compared to someone who was 105 kilometers, was never going to come in store. We could also update our ad messaging. We could test different calls to action. We could test in a call to action like buy in store, or even buy in your local D.I.D in Nace, and show these people these ads. And we were pretty confident this was going to do a good job of helping to drive more footfall into the stores. I'm glad to say that it did. So those focus stores went from having suffered a decline in footfall of 7.5% to seeing an increase in footfall of 15%. So not only were we able to arrest the decline in footfall, but we were actually able to turn that into really positive growth and get more people in store, which we now knew was an extraordinarily valuable action for D.I.D as a business. And on top of that as well, one of the big things I mentioned at the start, and Monika mentioned it as well, that we wanted to make sure we weren't doing with our digital first budget was just moving offline sales online, cannibalizing what we're doing offline with our online. Because digital first budget, you'd expect to see good growth in your online channels. But offline's where the challenge was. So we were delighted when we saw that offline sales actually accelerated on the back of the digital first marketing strategy. Our offline sales grew 57% faster than they had previously. So this was a massive success for us. We were really, really happy with this because it proved to us that we could take some of the great insights that Monika's team were passing on to us, integrate them into our digital marketing challenges and our digital marketing channels, and solve some of the biggest challenges facing their business. So this was being able to integrate that business data into our campaigns was a big success. We were delighted with that. The second integration I'm going to take you through, the seed of it was actually planted at Wolfgang Essentials last year. It was actually after Wolfgang Essentials last year in the pub. So I was chatting to Dan, who was just starting SEO work on the D.I.D website. And for any of you who's worked on SEO with us before, you'll know that the first thing we do in any SEO strategy is we do a technical SEO audit of the website. So we run an audit of the website to find ways that we can improve the quality of the website in Google's eyes. And while we were in the pub after the Wolfgang Essentials last year, I kind of blurted out to Dan a theory that I'd been kind of thinking about for a while. Some people, when they've had a few drinks, start blurting out their deepest, darkest secrets. I blurt out digital marketing theories. I'm a lot of fun at parties. So the theory that I had was that if we're finding all these fixes that are going to improve quality of the website from an organic point of view, it's going to make Google able to crawl the website easier from an organic point of view. The same should be true for paid. And on paid search, there's a really important metric called quality score, which is a measure of the relevance of your keywords, the relevance of your ads, and the quality of your landing page. So, and if you can improve your quality score, you can reduce your cost per clicks. So if we were able to improve quality score through these technical fixes, we should be able to save money on our paid channels. While we were only starting SEO at the time, we'd been doing paid search for a long time. We've been doing it for years at this stage. And our quality score was in a really good place. We were highly optimized campaigns. Our quality score, we ran a script which allowed us to track our account quality score over time. And our account quality score was 9.1 out of 10 at this stage. Now, quality score is a metric where the closer you get to 10, the harder it is to increase. So it's much easier to improve your quality score from 3 to 8 than it is from 8 to 9. And at this time, we were at 9.1. So we hit a little bit of a roadblock in terms of trying to improve our quality score. But we started tracking the quality score as we were implementing the fixes identified by our SEO audit. And within 4 weeks, we saw our quality score jump from 9.1 to 9.5, which is amazing as a paid search marketer. We were delighted with that. But that's not really any good to Monika. She can't go in front of her board and go singing and dancing about a 0.4% increase in quality score. It needs to affect the bottom line. So we were delighted when we saw that this increase ended up reducing our cost per clicks by 21%. And this was at a time where there was one of D.I.D's biggest competitors was bidding very aggressively on their brand. And for any paid search marketer will tell you, increased competition means increased cost per clicks. So we were expecting to see our cost per clicks going up at this time, but because of the changes that have been made to the website and the improvement the improvement in quality score on the back of it, we actually saw them come down at this time, so we were delighted with that. And because they were getting clicks for 21% cheaper, we were getting more clicks within their budget. And the cost of these additional clicks actually more than covered the cost for the SEO audit itself. So the SEO audit paid for itself through PPC alone within 4 weeks. And in fact, the revenue generated by the additional clicks we were receiving actually covered the costs of SEO for the entire of 2018. So it really proved our theory to be correct, that if we're making fixes following our SEO audit that are going to improve the quality of the website in Google's eyes organically, the same is true from paid search. So your technical SEO audit is going to have a positive impact on your paid search channels as well. So I'm really looking forward to having a point with you guys later on. Maybe blurting out some theories at you. And then hopefully one of you will be up on stage with me, Wolfgang Essentials 2020, on the back of that. Thanks a million.